Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
323 points. Leader.
Insanity
297
is doing the exact same fucking thing over and over again,
220
expecting
points.
shit to change. That is crazy.
Let's talk Eurovision.
Welkom in Europa, blijf hier tot ik dood ga. Europa, Europa.
I don't know if you can tell, but my hair is kind of blue right now. Wow. Eurovision is dead. It is dying right in front of our eyes. Now, if you don't pay attention to Eurovision, you might not be aware the absolute shit show it has been for the past 3 years now. Now, Eurovision has always been a little bit political. It is impossible to escape the politics, okay? For the past 3 years, Israel, the terrorist organization, has been allowed to compete in Eurovision and has been actively defended by the EBU, which is the organization that runs Eurovision. Why? I don't fucking know. Money, politics, greed, Ben Shapiro. And Israel has also used Eurovision as political propaganda to get sympathy for themselves. And they have also had political figures actively advertise the country's performances, which is literally not allowed. And for the past 3 years, maybe even more than that, but at least for the past 3 years, political figures from Israel have used their platforms to actively advertise and tell their followers to vote for Israel in Eurovision. Which is not allowed. It is against the goddamn rules. But the EBU not only turns a blind eye to all of the criticism, they actively keep defending Israel. And this year, it went so far that 5 countries pulled out of the competition, which should be an embarrassment to the EBU. It should be shameful and embarrassing, but they don't even mention it. They just turn a blind eye to it. They just keep ignoring everything. The countries who pulled out of the competition this year was the Netherlands, who probably has the biggest reason for it, because in 2024, Joost Klein, their participant, got disqualified for no reason. Now, I'm sure, if you follow Eurovision, you are probably already well aware of the entire thing that went down with Joost Klein. But basically, what happened is that the claim for why he was disqualified, the original claim was that he assaulted a camera person, which is just completely not true. What actually happened was Joost Klein had specifically requested that after his performance backstage he would not be filmed. He had actively requested that he were to not be filmed backstage. But a member from the Israel delegation came up to him anyways and pressed Joost Klein with a camera and asked tons of questions regarding Israel, I believe, and also his dead parents. So what Joost Klein did was he shoved the camera out of his face and just pushed past them. And because of all that, he got disqualified for absolutely no fucking reason. And what do the EBU do? Absolutely nothing. They turn a blind eye to it, they defend Israel, they suck their cocks. Ben Shapiro, Donald Trump! The Netherlands, Iceland, Slovenia, Ireland, and Spain, who is part of the Big Five, by the way. The Big Five are Spain, Germany, France, Italy, and the UK. And they are the Big Five because they are the 5 countries that supply the most money, basically. So they're the big five, and they always have a free pass directly to the final. And it was so fucking pathetic and embarrassing when they said the big four. It was just pathetically embarrassing to see them say the big four and then not even acknowledge the fact that it used to be the big five and that Spain pulled out because of Israel. But of course they're not going to mention it. Of course they're just going to brush it over. Fuck me, I guess. So yeah, big props to Israel. No! Big props to Spain, Ireland, Iceland, Slovenia, and the Netherlands. That's what I meant to say. They pulled out of the contest, obviously, because they refused to be part of a contest with a terrorist nation. And then Germany, the filthy fucks, probably due to them being guilt-tripped by Israel for the past 80 years because of a certain someone, Germany said that they would not participate if the EBU were to kick out Israel. They threatened to pull out of the competition if Israel was not allowed to participate. And with the absolute dog shit they sent this year, I would have rather had Germany pull out. We don't need you. Fuck off, Germany. You send like one good song every 10 years. Fuck off. You and Israel. Fuck off. And this year, yet again, it's just... The contest is just dead. This isn't Eurovision. On the outside, it is just Eurovision. It is literally a shell of its former self. On the outside, it is still Eurovision. But inside, it is completely rotten. The EBU is disgusting. It is being run politically, and all it is right now is just political propaganda for Israel. It is the Israel Song Contest. That is all it is. And I think that the only way that anything will change is if Israel wins Eurovision. If Israel were to win Eurovision, it would implode. 5 countries pulled out just because Israel was allowed to participate. Imagine what would happen if Israel wins and the contest would be hosted in Tel Aviv. It would be implosion, and Eurovision would legitimately go under. The EBU would go under, and I genuinely think this is the only way the competition can change. If Israel wins and everything explodes. Because otherwise, the EBU won't change. The EBU won't listen. And maybe more countries will continue to pull out, but honestly, I doubt it. I doubt that we will get that many more to pull out. There will probably be a few that will pull out next year. I could definitely see like another handful or so pull out. But what Eurovision needs, it is just a complete rewrite of everything. That's my opinion anyway, because nothing ever changes. The only way to change things is to do something extreme. That's just how things work. Anyway, I have had enough of Israel, so we are now going to ignore their existence and talk about Eurovision. Yay! I think that song-wise, 2026 was actually a really strong year for Eurovision. There were so many good songs this year, and they were all so even. There wasn't really any big standouts for me. I thought they were all like around the same level, and they were all good. I thought this year was really strong song-wise. Results-wise, I don't know what to say. Every year I realize that I understand this competition less and less. I went into the grand final thinking that either Finland, Israel, or Greece was going to win. And my thinking was that Finland was probably going to win the juries and probably going to get tons of televote points. And Greece were probably going to be very high up in the televote points and maybe get some jury points. But clearly, I don't keep up to date with Eurovision. Clearly my mind is still stuck in like 5 years ago, when the contest was somewhat normal. I genuinely believe that this was the worst winner I have ever seen in Eurovision, at least. Bangaranga, the worst winner in so long, genuinely. Like, I sat there during the juries, and I was just shocked, completely out of words. Don't even joke, lad. I just didn't know what to say. I was disappointed, upset, in disbelief. I went through the 5 stages of grief because I just couldn't believe what the fuck I was witnessing. How the fuck did Bulgaria win the juries? The juries are a fucking joke nowadays. They don't take things seriously. I am genuinely so upset with how the juries are nowadays, because they aren't fucking professional. What the juries are supposed to be is that they're supposed to be a bit of a professional take on the competition, because the televote is just everyone voting for their favorites. The juries are supposed to be a more professional approach to the songs. That's why they are. Like, now it's just the same thing. Now it's just like 7 people in one room who also decide their favorites. They don't fucking judge the songs professionally. You can't tell me that they judge the songs professionally and then give the fucking win to Bulgaria. Now, let's not even pretend that the only thing about Bulgaria is the performance, okay? It's a good performance, sure, but the song is just not good. It's mid. It's catchy, sure, but the writing is terrible. Now, I saw someone say that, oh, she has incredible breath control to be able to do that performance and sing like that. Are you serious? Are we awarding her the jury win because she has good breath control? Don't get me wrong, it's a super impressive performance, but that's all it is. It's incredibly impressive, but it's just, I don't know, man. If you followed my Melodifestivalen journey this year, you will know what I value in the songs in Melodifestivalen and Eurovision is substance, the writing of the song and the meaning behind the song. And the fact of the matter is, there is no substance to Bangaranga, okay? Don't even fucking try. Well, I know she was trying to say something like, oh, Bangaranga is when you choose love. Shut the fuck up. Don't even fucking try, okay? Do you really expect me to believe that when the lyrics are, I'm a psycho, I'm a demon, I'm the Bangaranga? Do you expect me to take this song seriously when you're telling me that you're the Bangaranga? Who the fuck names their child that? Now, apparently Bangaranga is like some Jamaican slang and it means uplifting. I heard that somewhere. I don't know if it's true, but it checks out. It definitely checks out, because all this song is, it's a party song, okay? Go through the lyrics, there's nothing there. It's just party song. It's just a party song, and it's just a spectacle. And for the majority of people, that's what Eurovision is nowadays. It's just about the spectacle. They don't care about the substance of the song. They just care about what they see with their eyes, and if it feels good for the ear. They don't care about the writing of the song. They don't care about the meaning of the song. They just care about the performance and if it feels good for the ear. Now, I know I'm in the minority, but I'm in the right. I'm correct. You are not allowed to have opinions. I am correct. I am the only opinion. Okay, now believe it or not, the juries actually have some criterias that they use to judge the songs. And it might be insane, but believe it or not, it's called the Eurovision Song Contest and not the Eurovision Dance Contest. Okay, now, yes. The juries have 4 criteria. The juries have 4 main criteria that they use to judge the songs. And the 4 criteria are composition and originality of the song, vocal ability of the artist, performance on stage, and their own overall impression of the act. Do you see why this sucks? Last year, Tommy Cash got 97 points from the jury. 97 points! When one of the main criteria is vocal ability of the artist. And I don't know if you listen to his performance, but he can't sing for shit! The juries are a joke nowadays. They're a fucking joke, okay? They're not serious. One of the main criteria is just their own opinion. And that's literally what it feels like. It just feels like they choose their favorites. And obviously there's tons of politics. Because Greece always gives 12 points to Cyprus. And Cyprus always gives 12 points to Greece. And Estonia always gives 12 points to Finland. And Finland always gives 12 points to Estonia. Politics! Penis! What I'm getting at is that the juries are a fucking joke and they're not serious. No one takes this competition seriously. Now they explained something in their terrible show. The host this year sucked. The show sucked. I don't even want to talk about it. It was just boring. They explained something that the juries consist of 7 people, I think, of diverse ages and backgrounds, which I think is good. I think it's good that you have a diverse jury with a bunch of different ages. But I also think that the juries should judge the songs professionally, because that's what they're supposed to do. The audience, they can do whatever they want, okay? That's the fucking bullshit voting. The juries are supposed to be professional, but they're not. Now, I actually have devised a system to fix the juries because I am so kind, generous, and intelligent. Because I am so good at everything I do. I have, I think that having the juries be diverse of age and background is great. That's great because then you get a lot of different views and takes. But as I said, they should also judge the songs professionally. Not just their own opinion. Their own opinion shouldn't even be fucking classified. The criteria that I have chosen to fix things are these. Again, vocal ability of the artists, writing and meaning of the song, because that should be like the most important thing. Because songs are supposed to fucking mean something. They're not just supposed to be bullshit. Of course, there's nothing wrong if the song doesn't really have anything to say and it's just fun. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're looking at the songs professionally, which they should take in the writing and the meaning of the songs. And I also care about that. Performance and staging, obviously. And then the composition and instrumentals of the song. Now my system, reference, my jury system would work like this. The juries would sit down, 7 different people of diverse ages and backgrounds. They would discuss the songs based off of those 4 criteria. They would then decide a rating out of 10 for every criteria, which would then obviously add up to a combined score out of 40 for every single song. And then they would add up the songs on a ranking based off how high they scored out of 40 for all of those criteria. So obviously the one who got the highest out of 40 is number 1, and then you would combine all of those lists from every single national jury, and you would combine all of those lists and find the average score, basically. English isn't my first language, so I'm having trouble explaining this. You would find the medium, okay? You would find the average list of all of the lists combined, and then you would have an average lists of all the songs in one ranking. And then you would hand out the points accordingly. And in my system, it would also not be 50-50, but 55-45 in favor of the audience. Because I also think that the audience should have a bigger say than the juries. So let's give an example right now of how the points would be handed out. Let's say that 40 countries participate. That would mean, shit, my screen died. No, my screen. 40 countries participate. That would mean that split 55 and 45, the audience would hand out 2,552 points, and the juries would hand out 2,088 points. And I have here, for the grand final, divided all of the points like this. So there would no longer be that you go national jury by national jury handing out 12 points. It would now be all of the national juries combined have created this list, and now the countries get points based off of where they place on that list. So here, 26 nations in the final. 26th place gets 10 points. 25th gets 12 points. 24th, 16 points. 23rd, 20 points. 22nd, 25 points. 21st, 30 points. 20th, 35 points. 19th, 40 points. 18th, 45 points. 17th, 50 points. 16th, 55 points. 15th, 60 points. 14th, 65 points. 13th, 70 points. 12th, 75 points. 11th, 80 points. 10th, 85 points. 9th, 90 points. 8th, 100 points. 7th, 110 points. 6th, 115 points. 5th, 125 points. 4th, 150 points. 3rd, 175 points. 2nd, 200 points. And the winner of the national juries would get 250 points. Isn't this a lot better? Like, isn't this just so much better? Like, the juries would still have a big say in everything. Like, the winner of the juries gets 250 goddamn points. That's more than Bangaranga got from the juries this year. I think that this is a much, much better system for the juries, because now they would actually judge the songs professionally, and there also wouldn't be any politics involved. There we go. Boom shakalaka. I solved the juries. It's not that hard, EBU! I'm a fucking dumbass 19-year-old and I just wrote this shit down in a Google document. It's not that hard. It's not that hard to solve your stupid contest. For fuck's sake. So yeah, basically the juries sucked this year. I cannot believe that Bulgaria won the juries. I genuinely can't believe. I genuinely can't believe that in the Eurovision Song Contest, the actual song doesn't matter. It's called Eurovision Song Contest. Not Eurovision Dance Contest, not Eurovision Spectacle Contest, not Eurovision Performance Contest. Is that so hard to understand? Yeah, like Bulgaria, I don't know, man. The song is a 7 out of 10 at best. And the performance is impressive. But honestly, I just don't think it's that good. Sure, it's extremely impressive and it's great dancing. But in my opinion, performances should be something that adds to the song, something that complements the song, not something that just completely takes away from the song. Like, the first time in the second semifinal, when I first saw the performance, I was just taken aback. Like, I couldn't barely register what was happening. It was just way too much for me. And did I genuinely miss something? Did I genuinely miss something with Bulgaria? Because I had seen like no hype. Although also given, I really haven't been active on social media regarding Eurovision this year. so I didn't see that much. I mostly looked at the betting, which is not good. I genuinely believe that the only reason Finland didn't win is because they were first in the odds, which is a bad thing, because then people will be like, I don't want to vote for them. Because the more I look at Finland's performance and listen and think about the song, the more I just think, how the fuck did this not win? That, like, Finland is the Eurovision song. It's got fire. It's got a passionate, emotional performance with a fucking epic ass violin, with a great song. It's literally the Eurovision winner. It has everything that a Eurovision winner should have on paper. How the fuck did it not win? I don't fucking know. Because Bulgaria, Bangaranga. Now, I am going to make a long-ass video where I rank every single song this year. So I'm not going to talk about the actual songs that much in this video. That will be in my ranking of every song. I will talk about all of the songs in that video. Yay! Yeah, like Bangaranga, it's like a 7 out of 10 at best. With a performance that's impressive, but also just way too much for me, personally. You are allowed to have opinions that differ from mine. Oh, and also, they used AI. They used AI in fucking Eurovision. I was just so fucking... It's just so fucking disappointing. Why would you use AI when you're literally a contest about songs, art? And AI is not art. It goes against everything that art is. I don't know, that was just disappointing and shit. The competition this year was just... the show. The show. The hosts, I don't even remember their names because they were so forgettable. They were just so boring. No charisma between them. They weren't funny. There was no funny writing. There was nothing clever. All of the acts that they did were also just boring and not funny or good. It was just terrible. Austria, you sucked. You were terrible. I thought I hated last year's show. At least last year's show was interesting in some ways. This year was just terrible, boring shit, pee pee poo poo. I've been recording for 40 minutes now. I don't really know if I have that much more to say. I am now going to sing the ending of Serbia's 2026 Eurovision song.
Stovi se daje manje selis.
This just isn't what Eurovision is supposed to be, and it hasn't been for at least 3-4 years now. United by music should not include those who discriminate and exterminate. Eurovision needs to change.